Steven, what is your favorite Christmas tradition?
I don't really have one. Is that bad?
Well, isn't your heart just filled with coal?
Well, it's not. I just
That's
realized
coming from the Jewish guy on this show.
I don't really have one. I don't know. Watch The Grinch?
Jim Carrey Grinch?
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. We watched the animated one too. Not too big on the animated
The
one.
Boris Karloff one?
No,
I think I'm saying his name right.
the Benedict Cumberbatch one.
Oh God, no! I heard that sucks.
Yeah, it was just I don't know. There's nothing special about it. So, no Christmas tradition for me. How about you?
Well, as far as Christmas traditions, the first thing I think of is just being around my family, which I won't be doing this year. The first thing that comes to mind is pepperoni and brie, because that's what we break out for snacks while we watch football and basketball on Christmas Day. I don't really think of family; I think of sports going on Christmas.
That's it. Of course you do.
Of course I do.
It's all just sports this, sports that. No
yeah,
family,
Steven.
no nothing.
Yeah, family gets in the way. Merry Festivus, everybody. Just your opinion, man. Derek Papa, Stephen Langford will take you up till 5:20 before the Niners take on the Tennessee Titans in the honky tonk of Tennessee. Titans, that is, Stephen. Titans. Tennessee Titans. Is your girlfriend here in the other room? I'm pronouncing the T's.
She probably is. She's normally the only one watching if you're looking on the live stream.
I'm glad we got one fan. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
When I think of Christmas, though, the first thing that comes to my mind is my dad, when we were younger, would always gift wrap the presents in newspaper. And he would scribble bad handwriting to make it seem like it wasn't his, like it was Santa's. Yes. And we would always come down the stairs. He would always play this every goddamn year. Bruce Springsteen singing Santa Claus is Coming to Town. You ever heard that song?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, where he's like, "Hey, you guys been good this year? That's not many. You guys in trouble. You better watch out."
Yeah.
Heard that my whole life.
Yeah. Normally the one that's played in my household is the British version from Slade called Merry Christmas, Everybody. Highly recommend you check out the video. It's the most English thing of all time. They're the band that made they're the band that made Come On Feel the Noise, you know?
Come on, feel the noise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's why am I blanking on how they sing it? Why am I blanking on that? But anyway, that's the song that comes to mind with me. It's a Slade version of it, and they're at the end, he's like, "It's Christmas." It's very hard to do.
The band's name is Slade.
Yes, Slade.
I'm thinking like a heavy metal band, but it definitely doesn't get with "Come On, Feel the Noise," "Girls Rock the Boys."
Very old school, very early 70s rock band. What's happening in the background there?
Yeah, guy's revving his engine.
Ah, poor guy. So this is Festivus. Can we air out grievances right now?
Let's do it, Steven.
I just have one. And it's one sports grievance. But
who's disappointed you?
Good God. I don't know why this week seems just as bad as the others. Maybe it's just because it was capped off with what happened between the Rams and the Seahawks, where in the second half, the refs clearly made a difference in that game, where there was two different instances of a stupid call, defensive holding against the Seahawks, which let the Rams get first down and then had them drive downfield. Then there was that one on the 4th and 5 play where DJ Dallas clearly got interfered with and the refs did nothing. Not only was it that, it was another roughing the passer penalty on Arden Key in that game against the Falcons.
Yeah.
Where his body weight has fallen on him. And I get that that's a rule, but they have got to find a way to at least look at those calls like that, which the defender clearly has no other choice but to use his body weight, or else he's probably going to get hurt. I just think that something needs to change with these rules in the NFL, because it's making the game hard to watch sometimes, man. It's so brutal every week.
Yeah. One of my grievances is my roommate's cat now interrupting the podcast. Be quiet, Levi. Be quiet.
Oh, Levi.
Yeah, it's a Jewish cat. Levi, the name. I don't really have any sports grievances. I'm trying to think of what I've been disappointed with this season, as far as football or basketball or baseball. Um, I really don't think I have any grievances. I have a lot of grievances with like the way we follow sports and Twitter and all that shit. But like as far as like sports in general, I think everything's been all right.
That's a year-round Festivus for you.
Yeah, it's a
That's
year
not
round.
that's not just one day. You
No.
choose to complain about that at least once a week.
Oh yeah, no, it's an ongoing holiday for me. But I'll ask you this, Steven. If the Raiders would have lost that game to the Cleveland Browns on Monday, would have that been your biggest disappointment of the season?
No doubt. No doubt. That would have been the biggest disappointment of my life.
Okay, I saw you tweet that out, that it would have been the worst Raider loss of all time. Have you been watching Raider football your whole life?
Hey, the worst Raiders loss I've ever seen. Yes, I have, actually.
Come on.
Have you ever seen the other player other team lose 20 players?
I've seen Nick Mullins rip apart the Raiders 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
With a starting lineup with them, with George Kittle.
Nick Chubb played.
Okay. Then they had all their backup linemen.
Myles Garrett played.
You seriously don't think that would have been the worst loss that
I've seen, dude, in my lifetime, I've seen much worse losses by the Oakland Raiders.
I don't know if you would have seen one worse than that. Maybe you've seen worse losses, but not in that circumstance. Although you can look at the Nick Foles game and think that one, 7 touchdowns thrown by a backup quarterback, essentially, even though he went on.
Doug Martin.
Doug Martin. Yeah, pretty bad one there with him. I'm trying to call you out so I can help you. This is all about a helping moment for you.
Yeah, thank you. You're really airing out your grievances with the way I can't pronounce my T's.
I knew it was going to be fun with Titans week coming up here. It's like Titans. Yeah. But it would have been the worst, man. That would have been so bad if they would have lost to Cleveland at this point in the year. Oh, terrible.
Well, let's talk about it because the game was postponed from Saturday to Monday. And, you know, the Raiders really got to take inspiration to be angry seriously. Because 2 weeks ago, they stormed the middle of the field against the Kansas City Chiefs and act all pissed off, like we're going to fuck shit up. And then they lose 48-9. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I need to correct myself from 2 weeks ago. I don't know who gave me bad info that was the worst Raider loss of all time. And you brought it up in the podcast, but I didn't think about it while you were saying it. There's been much worse losses. 52-0 against the St. Louis Rams, 2014.
Yeah, but I gave you some good reasoning, and it was for Derek Carr's worst loss of all time.
Yeah, it probably would have been. It probably would have been Derek Carr's worst loss.
Nothing game happened when Carr was a rookie. That was really, really bad.
No, yeah, but Carr was still playing, yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know who gave me that bad info.
Well, it might have been the worst loss, but to me, with the way that everything shook out this season, knowing it's possibly Derek Carr's last year as a Raider, I think that one was the worst because they had no shot, 0. Although it was pretty bad with Sean Hill.
Yeah. But so the Raiders get their ass kicked against the Kansas City Chiefs after they cause a stink on the middle of the field and act all tough. And then multiple Raider players tweet out, "We're getting screwed. We're getting royally boned by this game being postponed to Monday." And they come out and what's up?
Competitive disadvantage,
yes.
As Mark Davis put it.
Yes, as Mark Davis said. And if the Cleveland Browns didn't have 20 guys missing, they would have lost this game easily. They look sloppy as hell. Drops, fumbles, line protection. They were lucky to win that game, honestly. They were lucky that no one, despite the fact that they were postponed till Monday, they were lucky that Baker Mayfield or Case Keenum didn't come back with a negative test. They were lucky as hell to squeak out that victory 16-14. Can we get Hunter Renfrow off punt returns? He's having a hard time hanging on to him.
Well, he hasn't really all season. He's been just fine returning the football, but that's a tough one, man. I don't know any team that has a good punt returner. I can't sit here and name you like a bunch of teams that are really good special teams wise with a punt returner who always give them a good advantage. Renfro's been just fine. That was bad in these last couple of games, but he's been okay this year. I just want to get him off that punt return so he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah,
he's the most valuable player they have right now on offense, second to Derek Carr.
Yeah.
But one thing that this game highlighted, and it had me thinking, they can make all the tweaks that they want when it comes to the skill position guys, the wide receiver, the quarterback, the running back, whatever. But none of it is going to be none of it's going to be worth it unless they beef up that offensive line. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if it's going to be a draft pick within the first round. I don't know if they're going to find that this year. I don't know if it's signing a free agent lineman, which might be the best option just because it feels like that's a sure thing that if you're signing one for a good high price, then they're probably going to be pretty good. I don't know. I just think that until they beef up that offensive line, that offense isn't going to do anything, no matter no matter who's under center next season, whether it's Russell Wilson or hell, Aaron Rodgers, whatever it is, Derek Carr. I mean, they're going to need to do something to that O-line because they stink.
Well, that'll be a conversation we have all off season. But
Yeah.
Steven, are you thinking this is the most you've ever felt that it's possible that Derek Carr is not the quarterback next season?
Yeah.
Why is that? Why this season?
Because it's you're getting toward the end of his contract. You got one more year left. I'm not totally convinced it's his last season, but he hasn't done anything again like this year that's out of the ordinary. And I'm not saying it for the Raiders' sake. I'm saying it for his sake because the Raiders are going nowhere fast. Again, until they beef up that offensive line, nobody's going to do shit. So I think Derek Carr needs to just go for himself, like just for his well-being, because
it's not that guy.
He's not, and I don't know why he said that idiotic thing saying,
"I'm." But doesn't that make you love him though?
Sure, but at some point, like Dame Lillard, for example, I love the loyalty, but hey, dude, you're not going to win anything if you stick with the Blazers. You got to go somewhere else, or you got to get someone to come to your team. Like,
but you got to respect that, though.
Sure, but they don't have any rings. Like, they don't have any championships, and time is wasting.
I know.
And I get the loyalty, and I understand that, but at some point, don't you want to win?
But in today's age, where every high-profile player wants to leave to go to a better situation and complains about it on Twitter or whatever, don't you think it's kind of refreshing that guys like Damian Lillard and Derek Carr are just like, I mean, this isn't the best situation. I wish we had more pieces. I wish our front office was more, wanting to win, but I can't see myself going anyplace else. Don't you admire that? And I understand Raider fans are upset with Derek Carr. He was off to a great start and then shit hit the fan. We have to acknowledge that. He was off to one of the best starts of his career, and he lost his coach and he lost his best wide receiver. And they did not set up the offensive line for success this season. So when those guys left, they were left with the pieces for that offensive line to crumble around. So I understand people are upset with Derek Carr. It's frustrating when he throws a god-awful interception like he did against the Cleveland Browns, but I think he's your best shot going forward. I really do feel that way.
Okay, but I just don't think with the offensive line that's there, like I mentioned at the beginning, for his sake, or else he's just going to be dropping back, going to be getting sacked, and he's going to he's most likely going to fumble when he gets sacked. He starts to crumble here when it comes to December. And I don't like to say that about an NFL quarterback because who the hell am I? I'm sitting here on the couch just trying to find hot sauce to do a punishment the whole time. But early on in that game or in the second half, when Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, who actually wanted the Raiders to draft in the first round, he's out of Notre Dame. I really wanted the Raiders to draft him in that first round. I was kind of pissed they drafted Leatherwood. But when he caused that fumble, I'm just like, it's just typical. And for Derek Carr's sake, he's got to go. And when you talk about those superstars leaving, especially in the NBA, who are the two that we see? LeBron and KD. And who do we always see win titles? LeBron. We've seen KD with the Warriors, not really doing it so much with the Nets. Kyrie has done it. I don't know, man. I just think that.
But then you got Stephen A.
But
then you got Stephen A. the next day on First Take saying those guys ain't shit because they did the easy way.
Well, who cares about that though?
I don't care about it either.
They won. What is so bad about winning?
Nothing.
It's the way you do it. It's the
I don't care.
Join the super team. Exactly. But I'm just saying, at some point, Derek, dude, you got to realize the Raiders suck. They're always
going to be.
No, not you. Sorry.
I learned that a long time ago, Steven.
Hey, Derek Carr, get real. your team is always going to suck because that's the franchise that you're a part of. That's the franchise we've been watching for the past 2 decades, who's never going to have any sort of good luck until Mark Davis is gone. Sorry, Derek. Like, your time, you don't need to do the whole, I'm going to stay until I retire and I'm going to remain a Raider. All right, great. I'm fine with that. He's a good quarterback, but for his own sake, I'm saying go to another team, man. Find something else. Get yourself a ring somewhere.
Damn, Steve, you keep talking like that, Derek Carr's not going to come on our podcast. And it's been shown that Derek Carr comes on podcasts that nobody listens to.
No, he goes on podcasts for his family. If only we were his nephew.
Similar name.
That's his nephew.
Oh, that was his nephew you went on with?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
I did a lot of digging. I was like, damn, all right. Nice. This is guys. I'm like, damn, they got Derek and they got I think they had someone else on that podcast. I'm like, okay. And then like when they had him on, I actually watched a little bit of it and Derek was so comfortable and so cool. I was like,
so that was his nephew.
Yeah. And then I found out
that makes a shit ton of sense now.
Yeah. Although it was I'll be honest, pretty entertaining interview. Shout out to Carr's nephew trying to do it big in the media.
Good for him.
It was cool, man. You know, Derek kind of being the tongue-in-cheek older uncle, you know?
Yeah.
It was cool.
Now, did you see JJ Watt went on a fans podcast?
Yeah, I did. The 18-year-old.
Yeah.
I saw that too. That's cool.
Good for them. But
yeah, man.
It makes me jealous.
Yeah, a little bit. But hey, we had Brandon Payne.
We did have Brandon Payne. Thanks. Yeah. That was fantastic. I love Brandon Payne coming on with us.
Yeah, he was great.
But Steven, yeah, man. I mean, yes, I would agree with you that Derek Carr does not seem to play well in the cold. Like, what's his record in the cold? He won obviously against the Cleveland Browns, but he looked uncomfortable. And I guess, and of course, I'm saying this while I'm warm in my apartment that has no heating in my Thursday night football snuggie.
You kind of look like Joe Pesci in Home Alone.
Good.
Yeah.
The sticky bandits, the wet bandits.
That's my Joe Pesci impression when he gets frustrated by something.
I've always wanted to see the outtakes of Home Alone because there's got to be moments where Joe Pesci was like, "This motherfucker here," and they had to cut it from the movie, obviously. Oh, what's the kid's name? Kevin McAllister. Kevin McAllister, you motherfucker! Oh, where's the gabagool?
What are you laying toy cars down on the floor and you think I'm gonna fall for that? What the fuck you talking about?
You're doing too fucking much, huh? You're gonna blow a fucking crater in the middle of your basement? Get the fuck out of here.
There has to be an alternate version where these two guys are a little smarter than how they appear in the movie, and they just like, you know, blast Kevin.
Just kill the kid.
Yeah, blast Kevin McAllister away.
They're robbers. How do they not have guns? Good lord.
I know. They're the wet bandits, man.
Oh yeah, what they call the wet bandits or the sticky bandits?
Wet.
That's the
because they leave on the. Remember, they leave on the sink each time.
Oh yeah. You know that movie came out the same year that Goodfellas came out.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have
So
been
Joe
able to
Pesci
tell.
What's up?
Wouldn't have been able to tell.
I know. So while Joe Pesci was tap dancing on Billy Batts' head, he was slipping on cars for Home Alone.
All right, I'm trying to look up here Derek Carr's splits. So
as far as cold games,
well, what should we just look at it in terms of months? So like we'll go to December and January. Okay, so month by month. September 14 and 13, October 10 and 18, November 16 and 17, December though 13 and 21, and then in January he's only 1-1. How about that? In January he's only 1-1. How about you play some more January games, Derek? Maybe if you go to another team, you'll be able to have more of those. But at the same time,
maybe next time you shouldn't get your leg broken, huh?
His that's brutal. Tough Christmas Eve.
That was the worst.
His completion percentage goes down. His interception and touchdown ratio stays the same. His passer rating goes down about 10 points, and they get sacked. Listen to this. This is crazy. 41 in September, 46 in October, 58 in November, 76 in December. Sacked 76 times. So I don't know if that's a product of the offensive line, maybe him being hesitant to throw the ball. I don't know what that is, man, but he's not good in December.
76 times in the month of December?
Yes, overall.
I want to say that's the same amount of times David Carr was sacked his rookie season.
Damn, really?
Yeah, full circle.
Can't be 76 times in 1 year. Are you kidding me?
Dude, I think it is.
No, he can't have gotten sacked 76.
Dude,
Hang on. All
I'm
right.
looking it up right now.
We're
David
looking it
Carr,
up.
not David Carradine, the guy that killed himself while masturbating. What is this? Kill
That happened?
Bill. Yeah, you know Kill Bill. You know how he killed himself?
Oh, yeah. Um,
All right,
oh my
David
God, he
Carr. He
was.
was sacked 76 fucking times, right on the nose, buddy.
Oh my God. That is unbelievable.
Yep,
That's terrible.
that's a full
Good,
season. So
good
in the
God.
grand scheme of things, it's not that bad.
I guess not. Could be worse.
It could be
Yeah,
worse. Do you
changes the whole
honestly
perspective.
do you honestly expect that they're going to get Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers next season? Do you really think that?
No,
Okay.
no. I don't know what they're going to do. I saw something. Bill Barnwell wrote an article on ESPN, very well respected senior writer on there who does a ton of stuff. And he always throws out these trade hypotheticals. I don't know how many of them come true, but
None of them.
he said there's a possibility that if Derek Carr gets traded, they'd sign Jameis Winston in free agency if Byron Leftwich becomes the new head coach and he reunites with his boy.
Wait, when was Byron with Jameis?
Or not Byron, excuse me. Damn it. Oh God, hang on.
Oh wait, no, wait, that is right. Byron was the OC with Bruce Arians.
Yes,
No, that is right.
I believe so.
Yeah, Jameis tore his ACL in October. Let's see if he's going to contract in March.
Yeah, well, they said he could sign up for cheap. So I don't know, man. I just think for Derek's sake, go to a new team. This Raiders team, a dumpster fire. Like, get off of it. For his sake. I'm telling you, I like Carr. Always liked Carr. I think he's a good quarterback. He can be a good quarterback, but you got to go somewhere else. Find a new regime, dude. It hasn't worked here. Everything has just been gone wrong ever since his 2014 season.
Yeah, but Derek Carr's not pounding on the table to say trade me.
It's true. It's true.
Let's just see what happens. Let's see who they get as head coach.
Yeah.
If they get a good head coach in there, who knows what happens?
Yeah. But what a weird week 15 in general, though. Like, geez. Yeah. I mean, you had the Patriots and Colts on Saturday, and you had the Colts ended up winning that game when everyone thought the Patriots were damn near the best team in the AFC, going to the AFC.
Not this guy. Who picked that game, Steven? By the way, where's your hot sauce? Let's go.
Oh, I don't have the hot sauce. I can't find it. I guess I didn't unpack it yet. So
what you're saying is that you cannot punish yourself.
I can. I can.
You want to just slap yourself in the face 2 times?
Well, once. Okay, I can chug alcohol if you want.
Are you off tomorrow?
No.
No, I say this. Let's save it. Well, you know what? You know what we'll do? We'll do double or nothing for the next podcast. How about that?
Okay. All right, sounds good.
So then it could be potentially 4 hot sauces you got to chug. I'm talking about the whole bottle, baby.
Good Lord, that'd be awful.
But yeah, week 15 was weird. From the games being postponed. We had a doubleheader on Monday, a doubleheader on Tuesday. Did you like that? Did you like having football on weird days?
Yeah, I actually would like it more if they had if they just took away Thursday night football and made it Tuesday night football. I'd be totally fine with that. Give the players a little more time. Thursday night's just not enough. And if let's just say they play on Tuesday, you can have them play on Sunday. Give them 5 days rest. I was okay with it. The only problem I had was that they were playing the 2 games on Tuesday at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Like Washington and Philly, I know it may not seem like that. It may not seem interesting, but the fact that everybody prior to this week was like 6-7 or 7-6 in the NFC, that game had some ramifications. And then you had the Rams and the Seahawks, which is a division game that you'd always want to watch. So that's the only issue I had with it. But I mean, hell, 4 days of football. Who's going to complain about that?
Would you like it, though, if the NFL made this like a permanent thing? And I'm not saying it's feasible to do this at the start of the season, but when college football is done, or not done, but not sticking to Saturdays, it's more of the bowl games that nobody cares about. When high school football is done on Fridays, could we start staggering games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday?
Maybe. That's a lot.
You're fucking up a lot of guys' schedules too.
Yes, that takes a lot of budgeting and maneuvering.
Yes,
kind of like Dave Chappelle in Half Baked when he's taking Mary Jane out on a date and he only has like $8. This is going to take some careful budgeting and maneuvering. Yeah.
Oh man.
So I
Yeah,
don't know. But I'd be into. I really would be into having it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday though, instead of having Thursday night football.
yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think players like Thursday night football. Maybe it's a way to generate revenue. And I'm not even complaining about the Thursday night games this year without, looking at any of the schedule of this past year, but it feels like the Thursday night game more often than not, they've actually been pretty good. Competitive
Yeah,
feels like, and I don't know. So I guess there's not much to complain about here as opposed to the previous seasons where it's just you get, Jets Dolphins on a Thursday night. But I'm okay if they take that away and just make it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, boom, and then by the time college football's over, Saturday, Sunday,
yeah.
Tuesday.
No, I'm into it, and I'm sure the NBA was pissed that they postponed those games to Tuesday night because that's their night on TNT. And same thing with Christmas Day. We're going to have two NFL games going up against the four NBA games, and no matter how profile those games are going to be with the Warriors and Suns, Lakers and Nets, whatever the rest is, the NFL is going to kill those NBA games. Just that's just a fact. So more guys revving their engine. Um, yeah, I don't know how you would do it, but I had fun. No one likes this stuff happening in the world right now. COVID's taken over again. It's getting sad. We're postponing NFL games. People aren't going home for Christmas. It sucks. But if you just look at it as far as a sports aspect, where we're having two games on Tuesday night, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah. The only problem was again they were playing at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with Fox where they couldn't show both games at the same time. In the Bay Area, you just get Seahawks and Rams.
No, we got, or at least, yes, Seahawks and Rams, and that was it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
obviously I live in LA, so I saw the game on local TV. Yeah, I don't know if they want, but that's the thing. Like, they weren't nationally televised games to begin with. They were just making up what they had to do on Sunday.
Mm.
So they weren't set up, they weren't thinking like, let's make this, conducive to the whole NFL watching audience. We still got, Tuesday night programming we got to do on Fox, which, at that point, you're the NFL. You could be like, fuck New Girl. We're showing, NFL games.
Yeah, yeah.
Is New Girl even on the air anymore?
Don't think so.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the finale already hit. Can you explain something to me? Because you probably watched this. You probably watched this game more than I did. I did not see any of it. But how the hell did the Lions beat the Cardinals 30-12?
Funny you ask, Steven. Funny you ask. I had to do that highlight on Sunday. I will tell you exactly how they beat them. This guy, Craig Reynolds, this running back for the Lions, pick him up a fantasy, my friend, because he is running hard. And the Cardinals they just got out physical. It happened 2 weeks ago against the Rams, where the Rams ran it down their throat. 2 weeks in a row, the Arizona Cardinals were out physical by their opponent. And yes, the Fighting Dan Campbells kicked their ass. And what's crazy to me, I didn't know this going into the game, but Jared Goff has won 7 straight, now 8 against the Arizona Cardinals. He only lost to them once while he was a quarterback of the LA Rams. So either he knows them well or they just game plan well. Kyler Murray also just looks completely off. Like, he is just spin moving into sacks. He's getting balls tipped to the line of scrimmage. He looks lost without DeAndre Hopkins. The play calling was terrible. Cliff Kingsbury was just he picked up where he left off on Monday night against the Rams. He was going for it on stupid times. And yeah, the Cardinals look like they're struggling right now. I would not be the least bit surprised if they beat the Colts on Saturday night, but they don't look like the same team that started. What they start 7-0, whatever it was.
Yeah, 8-0, I think. They're not. They're at the point I think where they're just hurt.
Yeah.
Kyler hurt. That D line, I don't know. They just haven't been that good. I guess
JJ Watt out for the season.
Brutal. So I don't know. I just saw that score, and I took the live spread. It was at +6, and I was like, "Oh, the Cardinals are going to cover that. Come on, they still got a whole another half of football to play." Then turns out that like you said, the Fighting Dan Campbells. I like that, but I don't know, man. It's just a weird thing. Now, other football games that happened, when the Ravens went for it, when they went for the 2-point conversion after Tyler Huntley drove downfield. I know that we're playing the result, and it's very easy to say they shouldn't have gone for it. But when you see the mic'd up version of it, and you see John Harbaugh asking his players, asking Mark Andrews and Tyler Huntley, like, should we go for it? What do you guys think? And they want to go for it instead, and they want to go for the win. I mean, how can you fault them for that? You know, like, I understand that they ended up losing the game, but when they all come to an agreement like that and they're all in unison, it's hard for me to watch that and go back and just think and still yell, oh, they shouldn't have gone for it. I don't know. I don't know. I watched that little mic'd up segment they had. A little emotional.
Do you think Bill Belichick's asking his players, should we go for it?
Probably not.
Okay. I think John Harbaugh is a fantastic coach, Super Bowl champion. And I love that he likes to get the advice of his players. But 3 weeks in a row, buddy, it's not working. And you're at home. You're at home, and you got the momentum with Tyler Huntley playing quarterback. You might think that you're going to lose in overtime, but there's a chance. I would have kicked the extra point. At some point, you can't rely on your assistant coaches or even your players. They're like, what do you expect to ask them? He's asked this every week. It started with the Chiefs game in week 2. Hey, Lamar, you want to go for it? Yes, I do, coach. It would be alarming if he said, hey, Lamar, do you want to go for it? I don't think so, coach. It's just going to happen. So I would suggest to John Harbaugh, kick a fucking field goal once, buddy. You might win a game. He's lost 3 in a row going for 2.
I think it's way more interesting if they go for 2.
Of course you do.
Game. Yeah.
But then you go to OT.
Who cares? So what?
But then you lose right then and there.
There's more of a chance you're going to lose to OT anyway.
All right, Brandon Staley.
Your best chance to win is probably going for it in that situation when Tyler Huntley and the momentum is going their way. I mean, I think that in that situation with the way that Tyler Huntley was running the football, and I mean, not necessarily throwing it. He was just, hey, let's go to Mark Andrews, blah, blah, blah. And you're going to just get it to him. And that's how we're going to score on this final drive. And I'm also going to run out of pressure. But I think it was the right move. Maybe it wasn't the right play call. But I like the aggressive nature of it. Hell, I'm totally fine if we take field goals out of this game. Shoot.
Yeah, you're all about the AAF.
Yes. Just take them out.
There you go.
Just do it.
Yeah. Watching that game, though, what'd you think of Tyler Huntley?
I mean, he looks like Lamar Jackson 2.0.
Exactly. And everybody just wants to give him a starting job. Why can't he be the perfect backup for Lamar Jackson? He does the exact same thing.
No, I agree with you. But how many games really has he played this
3.
season? He's played 3 so far, so they've gotten a little bit of tape on him. Lost the last 2, done it with close games. Damn. I mean, at some point, normally with these backup quarterbacks, they have that one game where they come in, they light things up, and then after that, defenses seem to figure them out, and they just don't look like that same quarterback. Hello, Bruce Gradkowski. Don't know why I'm using that as an example, but it didn't seem to happen with Huntley, and I don't know. It doesn't need to be a starting quarterback of the Ravens, but if he can find a starting job somewhere else, you look at it, you could have a lot worse options.
You could, but he's just, who's to say he's going to have success in another city? I think he's the perfect backup for Lamar Jackson. You don't miss a beat when Lamar is out.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. It's just your opinion, man.
Just my opinion, man. Should we talk about the Niners last week?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Well, here we go. They're playing tonight. They're playing the Tennessee Titans. But last week, against the Atlanta Falcons, they dominated, and they should have. If it was a close game, you would have been like, we'll see about them going forward. They took care of business. Nick Bosa adding to his sack total. Jimmy Garoppolo probably looking the best he has this season. I think that they are going to make the playoffs. I think that they're the best team out of the bunch as far as the 8-6, 7-7, 6-7, or 6-8 teams. They're the best among the groups. They're the most consistent. They play good defense. I don't know about them in the playoffs if they have to play the top, like the Rams or the Cardinals or the Cowboys, the Packers. But they're the best among the wildcard bunch, I would say.
The way that the NFC,
excluding the Rams or Cardinals, yeah, you know what I mean.
The way that the NFC playoffs are shaking out right now is those top 3 teams, the Cowboys ahead of the Bucks, they're at number 2, and the Packers at number 1.
Buccaneers, yeah, I forgot about
Well,
them.
they all seem to have some pretty easy schedules moving forward. I think, man, I forgot who the Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers play the Panthers
They
2 out
do.
of 2 out of the next 3 games.
Yep.
I forgot what the Cowboys schedule is. The Packers seem to have it pretty easy, so it looks like they've locked up that number 1 seed. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners stay at 6. Then the Rams and Cardinals, they might change it up between those two, the 4 and 5 spots. But I could also see the 1, 2, 3 seed staying the same. So there's a possibility that the NFC seeding doesn't even change by the end of the season. So tonight's game is certainly important for the Niners to get the win. But if they lose, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I think they got that 6 seed just completely locked up. I don't think it's going towards anybody. I mean, Washington better not bring their bench to wherever they're going again. Good God, why do you do that? Did you see
Wait, what
that?
happened? No.
You see how the Cowboys brought their bench to Philadelphia? Like Jerry Jones flew his team benches out there.
You mean Washington?
No, I'm talking about Dallas. In that
Oh.
game against Philly, Jerry Jones brought his team's benches over to Philadelphia when they played him.
Dallas hasn't played Philly yet in Philly.
Have they not?
No.
Or was it in Washington? Could have been
Yeah,
in
Washington. So Washington brought their Dallas brought their benches to Washington?
Yes, and then Washington.
Mr. Bench goes to Washington?
So Washington brought their bench to Philly, and then they lost.
That's stupid as hell.
Yeah, isn't that embarrassing? But
that's what Daniel Snyder is paying his money for right now?
I guess so.
Good Lord.
But going back to the Niners, though, that game against the Falcons and the fact that they weren't able to score on any of their goal line drives, I think it was like the first time in 30 years that happened. But there's one little moment in that game that pisses me off just about everybody.
The roughing the passer?
No, not well. That too. But
that was
Arthur Smith from the Atlanta Falcons. You are down 24-10. You are on the 49ers 4-yard line. You're at 3rd down. You don't get anything. You get stuffed. Now you're at 4th and 4. You got 4 yards to go. And let me repeat, you're in the second half down 24-10. And you opt for a field goal with 4 yards remaining. Instead, you change the score to 24-13. Instead of being down by 14, now you're down by 11. Whoop-de-doo, Basil. That is awful. Awful. How do you not go for it in that situation? Because it's not going to change. You're down 2 scores either way. Yeah. Why not at least go for it? Put yourself within 1 and, make the offense work a little bit. Because instead, 49ers, they just go ahead, score a touchdown. They make the game 31-13. Game was over after that. So I don't know. Those types of plays, man, they bother me so much.
No, I agree with you. While I am critical of the amount of times coaches go for it on 4th down this season, that was the time to go for it.
Yeah.
And Arthur Smith is a new head coach. He's learning. He'll probably won't do that going forward. But yeah, that was a bad call. Yeah, along with the Arden Key roughing the passer, I thought that was ridiculous. What is he supposed to do? Yeah. My main takeaway is that Nick Bosa is just having an unbelievable season. And I don't know if he'll win Defensive Player of the Year. I think he, hands down, should be Comeback Player of the Year, tearing his ACL and coming back for 15 sacks. I think it's an incredible story. So I think Dak has looked the last couple of weeks. Carson Wentz can win a game throwing the ball for 57 yards. It's really Jonathan Taylor who's getting that team to victory. I would say the same for Nick Bosa. I think he's hands down the Comeback Player of the Year.
Well, I do think that if he wants any chance these next 3 weeks, I think the reason he's not really up for DPOY yet is because he hasn't had that one game where he's wrecked it. He's had 1 sack, maybe 2 sacks at the most, maybe 1 sack and a forced fumble, but there hasn't been a game like, say, with TJ Watt, where TJ Watt had 3.5 sacks against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. He hasn't had that one game yet. So unless he has that game, which very easily could be tonight without Roger Saffold and Taylor Lewan both being out, it could very well be tonight. But he needs that one game, and I really don't put it past him. I don't. Like, if there's I could single him out the entire time if I'm watching a 49er game, and every play on defense, just watch him go after the tackles, and I'm happy because this dude is a lot of fun to watch. He's an absolute beast, and I mean he manhandles dudes out there. Manhandles them.
Yeah. Who would you say is the leader in the clubhouse, though, for defensive player of the year?
Well, probably TJ or Garrett. I don't know. Those guys continue to. It feels like every week force a fumble.
Yeah, it's just TJ Watt. If they don't make the playoffs, the Steelers, that'll be tough for him to win it, though.
Yeah.
But maybe it doesn't matter this year. Maybe it doesn't matter.
Maybe. But before we do get to our picks, because I know that game is coming up, and I think I picked the 49ers in this game, by the way. I'll just say that right now. I think the 49ers win this one in Tennessee.
Okay.
Now, answer me this, because I went through the stats. So Jimmy Garoppolo, everyone's going crazy because he's had like at least a 90 passer rating in his last 8 games or whatever. But let's just take the last 6 games. The last 6 games where they won 5 out of 6. In the first 8 weeks of the season, Garoppolo, or 7 weeks that he played, the 7 games that he played, because Trey Lance was in for one of them, obviously, against the Cardinals. But in the first 7 games that he played, he threw 8 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. He averaged about a 92 passer rating, which is okay. And he had a 65 completion percentage, which is, that's okay. That's fine. But in the last 6 weeks, his passer rating is up to an average of 110. He's got a 70% completion percentage. It might actually be 71. So damn near a 7 percentage point jump. He's also got 10 touchdowns. He's thrown 2 interceptions. And if there's any correlation, dude, putting Debo at running back, I think changed everything, because what's happened in these last 6 games is Debo was changed to running back. The only loss they've had, Debo was out, and the offense looked predictable. The run game couldn't do anything. Garoppolo's numbers are up. The run game, they seem to their blocking is just unbelievable. There's a whole analytical thing I could get into there. But I just think adding that other element for the defense to think about, it's Debo's lined up in the shotgun. Oh, snap. We better watch on him. We better stack 8 in the box. Oh, wait, you stack 8 in the box. You're leaving George Kittle one-on-one. I don't think it's a mistake that Garoppolo's numbers are up. Kittle's numbers are up. Any running back that plays, their numbers are up when Debo Samuel's in the game. Everyone's talking about Jimmy Garoppolo this, Jimmy Garoppolo that, and he's been very good. Don't get me wrong. He's been super accurate. But when Kyle Shanahan puts Debo at running back, they're a much better football team. I think he's made all the difference in the world this year, man. I don't know. Am I crazy for that?
You're not crazy, but if I hear you correctly, Steven, you're suggesting that the Niners should go back to Jimmy Garoppolo next season, and they should decrease Debo Samuel's pay from a wide receiver to running back. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. That's
Good.
exactly what I'm saying.
You're
without
on the
saying
record.
any of that. Yeah. Yeah.
Just to pick the game for tonight, look, the Titans are a very physical team, but they've lost that physicality without Derrick Henry. I think the Niners are a much physical team right now. They could run the ball. The Titans can run the ball, but I think they'll have a hard time against this defense. Despite the fact that A.J. Brown and Julio Jones are playing tonight, they haven't really impressed me this season, and I think the Niners pass rush will get to Ryan Tannehill, and Nick Bosa may have his Defensive Player of the Year award game tonight. I am taking the Niners as well. Happy Dad! That was a long day of work today. He went on the NFL Now show while I was at working at the studio today. Is that your dad? Is that your dad?
Oh, you're getting that now?
Yeah, I'm getting that.
Yeah,
I can't escape it.
Yeah, it's always.
They were this close to putting me on TV to surprise him for Christmas.
The most disgusted you've ever been at me was when I introduced you to someone as Greg Papa's son.
I love that. I love being introduced as Greg's son, or now that I'm amongst like non-sports people in LA, being introduced as, here's Derek, he's the sports guy.
Oh my God.
Love that shit.
Derek the sports guy. That's how it was in Chico for me.
Was it really?
Yeah, dude, it opens your eyes a little bit, because the Bay Area, we love our sports.
We do, man.
We have so many sports around, but you meet people from other places.
I know.
They're not so much into it. Then you're thinking, what the hell? What? Why?
I know. Now I go to Christmas parties where I want to debate sports, and everybody's just like, oh, I think Spider-Man was really good.
Well, it was really good.
It was good. It was good for nostalgia purposes. It looked like Tobey Maguire was forced to do the movie. Spoiler alert.
Wow, you think so?
A little bit. It looked like he wasn't really into it.
You're judging that off his acting?
Yes, but I did enjoy the nostalgia of it. I like seeing Doc Ock. I like seeing Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin. Good Lord, the
He's
guy
awesome.
he just puts it on 100% every time. Love it.
How has he not been the Joker yet? Like, if he
It'd be
wasn't
too similar to the Green Goblin.
if he wasn't cast as the Green Goblin, I mean, he would have been cast as the Joker, I think. And
Probably.
Perfect.
You know, I was talking about this the other night with a friend of mine. You know who would be a great Joker? I don't know if they've cast one yet for the new Batman with Robert Pattinson. You know who would be a great Joker, in my opinion?
Who?
Bill Hader.
You think so?
I think so.
I think he'd be a good Riddler.
He already got a Riddler. Riddler's going to be the new movie.
I don't know who it is. Don't say anything.
I won't ruin it for you then. Real quick to recap the week that was in the NFL, Week 15. You talked about the Colts and Patriots. Do you think Jonathan Taylor should have fell down on that play? I got a lot of shit for having that opinion.
No, I do not, because the Colts ended up.
But then you win the game.
Well, they won anyway.
Yeah, I know. Don't make fun of my voice.
Sorry.
Okay. The Saints defense against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know that they had a plethora of injuries, with Chris Godwin now being lost for the season and Leonard Fournette being gone for, I guess, the regular season up until the playoffs. But I thought the Saints had a fantastic game plan, shutting out the Buccaneers 9-0. We know Dennis Allen. He filled in for Sean Payton, who was dealing with COVID. Should Dennis Allen get another shot as head coach after we saw him with the Raiders?
I don't know.
I think he's learned. There's enough time has passed. It was 10 years ago.
Go ahead. Make him go to Jacksonville. Have him lose there. And then
he's not going to Jacksonville.
Get him back to being a defensive coordinator again. Then he goes through the whole thing that a bunch of coaches go through. And it's totally fine if he's just a defensive coordinator. Totally fine.
All right. I think he should get another shot, and I would love to see him in the Kevin James sequel be played by Nick Swarsten.
That's why I think, though, that he'd be that's why I think, though, that the Niners would be a good matchup for the Buccaneers in the playoffs. I think that'd be fascinating, because one of the reasons the Saints were able to get to Tom Brady is because they weren't really blitzing him. They were getting with four guys and getting pressure on him with just a four-man front, as opposed to a lot of teams who try to blitz him, and he's really good when pressure's in his face. But if you got pressure with just four guys and everybody else is being covered, who's as good as the Niners when it comes to just getting a pass rush in with four guys? I think the Niners are second in the league in terms of fewest blitzes. I think the Raiders actually had the fewest this year.
But can the Niners cover those Buccaneers receivers if they're healthy?
That's the question. Yeah. I think that'd be a very interesting game.
Real quick, if you're Larry Fitzgerald, and I think he's already said he's not coming back, but if you were Larry Fitzgerald, would you rather go to the Arizona Cardinals, given their situation with DeAndre Hopkins right now, or would you want to go to the Buccaneers, given their situation with Chris Godwin right now? And Bruce Arians.
I'd go to the Buccaneers. Play with the GOAT. Okay. Kidding me?
All right, now moving on.
Yeah, I haven't played. I've been watching Man in the Arena, by the way.
Oh God, we'll get to that next episode. But that guy's voice, Man in the Arena, brought to you by
Man in the Arena, brought to you by Under Armour.
Under Armour.
This is
the B-roll shots in the fucking Man in the Arena, like Dude. Tom Brady. Yeah, we're all like horses out there, and it's like a stampede of horses. It's ridiculous.
I do think it's a cool I do think it's cool getting an inside look. I just watched the episode with Vrabel and Brewski, and how they're they called it the edgers, because it's like I'm trying to get an edge on you every single day. I thought that was cool, but then when they show a game against the Colts in Week 11 early on, and thinking, all right, this is the game that that's gonna propel us to the next level. And as they're playing highlights from it, they'll show Tom Brady complete a pass, and then it'll cut to a shot of a storm of a lightning bolt going down.
It's so over the top. It's so over the top. And by the way, I wanted to bring this up a couple weeks ago. I watched the episode with Randy Moss during the 2007 Patriots one.
Mm-hmm.
That son of a bitch left the Raiders during the season, faked an injury to go watch Tom Brady play in Minnesota, and then was pining to be on the Patriots while he was still on the Raiders.
Can you
Because
blame?
Doug Gabriel told him to go do so.
Can you blame him?
At the time, yeah, with Art Shell and all that, yeah, that was a bad team. All right, let's wrap up here, Steven. Oh, real quick, the Tuesday night game with the Seahawks and the Rams. Cooper Kupp, good Lord.
He's
awesome. a couple weeks ago, I said that he's not the best wide receiver in football, just given his physical limitations and everything. He might be the best wide receiver in football now. He took that game over, and some of the catches he made downfield were incredible. Cooper Kupp, this may be, if he leads the league in all receiving categories, and if he might break the record for receiving yards. He might break the record for receptions. He's not going to touch Randy Moss's receiving touchdowns, but all-time great season for Cooper Kupp. I have to acknowledge that.
He is awesome. Actually, ever since we played that clip of him explaining, getting the guy what they were coming on a blitz, whatever. I've been trying to look more and more like him. I've let the beard grow out. I got the haircut with the shaved head. I'm trying to look like Cooper Kupp now. So I want to get that out there.
There you go.
That's what this look is inspired by.
Steven, should we get to these picks?
Yes. All right. Do you want to do it?
Let's do it. It's time for wins or wangs. But before we do it, this time of year, we talked about traditions in Christmas. One of my favorite traditions is this time of year hearing that goofy, fast-paced music from the Nutcracker. Let's pick these games with this music. Let's do it, Steven. Super fast. Here we go. Oh, yeah. It's coming in terribly, but...
I don't know. What am I supposed to do?
All right. Well, here we go. Christmas Day. Yeah, let's go. Crank it. All right. Browns, Packers. On Christmas Day, Baker Mayfield may be back for that game. They still got to pass COVID protocol. Who are you taking?
I'm taking the Packers.
Is it that loud?
Yes.
I'm taking the Packers as well. Then later on that night, we go down to the Arizona Cardinals against the Indianapolis Colts. Jonathan Taylor coming off his great performance against the New England Patriots, but sure, he fell down and maybe won that game. I'll let it go. And then the Arizona Cardinals coming off their stinker against Detroit. Steven, who are you taking?
Colts.
All right. Really? I'm taking the Cardinals.
Really?
Rams. LA Rams coming off their big victory against the Seattle Seahawks on a short week, but the Vikings are on a short week as well. They'll face off in Minnesota, but Dalvin Cook has COVID. Does it matter to you, Steven?
No. Wait, yes, it does. Sorry.
Play it again.
On here. I got a lot going on here. No.
Quick, Steven, who you got?
Who are they playing?
The Rams, Vikings.
Rams.
I'm taking the Rams as well. Then the Chargers. What happened to the music? Oh, there it is. Chargers going up against the Houston Texans. This should be a layup for the Chargers, right? Coming off their disappointing loss to the Chiefs.
Chargers.
Take the Chargers as well. Then we got the Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles. Steven.
Eagles.
Taking the Eagles as well. It's a rematch from a couple games ago, where the Patriots threw the ball 3 times, and now the Bills are back, and they're pissed. Who you taking, Steven? Bills or Patriots?
Taking the Pats at home.
I'm taking the Bills. It's a revenge game, baby. Then we got the Buccaneers up against the Carolina Panthers. Tom Brady will be without Chris Godwin and Leonard Fournette, but he's getting Le'Veon Bell. Weird. And then you got the Carolina Panthers, who activated Sam Darnold, but he's going to sit on the bench, and Cam Newton is going to start. But Sam Darnold's going to play some snaps. What the hell's going on here?
Buccaneers.
I'm taking the Bucs as well. Play it again. Jaguars at the Jets. And this will be the second game that the Jaguars play without Urban Meyer, and this will be the first game the Jets play without Robert Saleh, who's dealing with COVID. Hopefully it is one game. But who are you taking, Steven? It's a matchup between Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson.
The Jags.
Interesting. I'm taking the Jets minus Robert Saleh. Then we got the greatest game of all time, Lions at Falcons.
Falcons.
Taking the Falcons as well. Then you got the Ravens going to old Cincinnati. We don't know about Lamar Jackson yet. It could be Tyler Huntley, but I don't think it matters because I'm taking the Ravens. They can't lose 4 in a row.
I'm taking the Bengals.
All right, then. Then we got the late games. Bears going against the Seattle Seahawks. The Russell Wilson Seahawks are coming off a stinker against the Rams, where He threw a terrible pass to DK Metcalf that got tipped by Jalen Ramsey, but it doesn't matter against the Chicago Bears, Steven.
Seahawks.
I'm taking the Seahawks as well. Then we got the Steelers going up against the Chiefs. We don't know about the Chiefs' COVID situation. We'll see who plays, but given that Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce are vaccinated, they probably will be back in time for the game. Play that music again, Steven. Who are we taking?
Chiefs.
I'll take the Chiefs as well. Then the Broncos up against the Las Vegas Raiders at 7-7. Steven, the Raiders got to win this game, right, to go to above 500, don't they?
I'll take the Raiders.
He's taking the Raiders despite the fact you talk shit about them all the time. Next game, the football team at the Dallas Cowboys. We don't know who's playing quarterback yet for the football team. Is it going to be Kyle Allen? Is it going to be Heineke? They got to pass COVID protocol. But does it matter against the Cowboys who are looking to win the NFC East?
No, Cowboys.
I'm taking the Cowboys as well. And then we got the Dolphins at Saints. And I was of the opinion that the Saints could possibly sneak into the playoffs, given their fantastic win over the Buccaneers. But given now that they're going to lose both quarterbacks, we got Ian Book playing on Monday against the Miami Dolphins, who could be above 500 for the first time since week 1. Steven, who you taking?
Dolphins are one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. I'm taking the Dolphins.
I'm taking the Dolphins as well, and that's our picks, Christmas style. God, I love that music.
God, that was really loud on my end. I got a better way to do that. We have a better way to do that, but we did not choose to do it. So we have our picks. We got Niners, Titans. I actually got to get out of here. I have a previous engagement that I got to get to.
Sorry, Steve. All right, do your thing, Steven. Say what you always say.
Oh, that's just our opinion. Man.
There you go. See you next time, guys.